That's me, because I'm committing crimes with both erection and...
But Overwatch! What the fuck did Blizzard do with this game to make it so addictive? I thought heroes, limited weapon, not being able to switch weapons. I'm not gonna like this game. I can't switch weapons on the go. No, but you can switch heroes.
You'll play a game of Overwatch. I'm constantly surprised at how that game isn't breaking all the time. Just testament to how good Blizzard is, but there's a lot of factors going on, and they keep adding things into it. Like, there's always like a weird glitch here and there, but like, that game does not break. It's really, but you would expect Winston while he's jumping, and then there's a graviton surge, and then someone's firing missiles that something would go through the ground, right? And it's like, no, it all stays together.
The only game of the year at the Game Awards 2016 is Overwatch.
It might not have the most exhaustive list of maps and modes, but it provides nearly endless opportunities for exhilarating, coordinated play. And when you're at the center of it, it feels like nothing else. For much, much more on Overwatch, keep it right.
Oh my! Stop it! Oh, dude, I'm done with my... Reloading.
Can I play? Can I play a fucking game, dude?
It's just fun to play a game.
I literally have not played this game since the hamster's been in it, by the way.
Okay, so I'll tell you a couple things that have changed. It still sucks. All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'll wait for you to. Wait, this is broken.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
It's going the other way, dude.
Where's it going?
Now, believe it or not, I'm not lying when I say I think Overwatch has the perfect community. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think the Overwatch community is a good one, at least in the context of the vocal majority. But if I were to define a community in terms of gaming, I would say the point of it is to keep the game alive, because regardless of how good or bad the community in any game might be, if it is keeping the game alive, then it keeps the cycle going, monetarily at least. I understand if you're confused because I'm talking about the Overwatch community, despite the fact the intro just showcased the general perception of the game between two time periods. That is actually relevant to the topic. How so? Give me a sec, this is gonna take a while. If you watch those Overwatch funny moments or stream highlights videos, a majority of the content in them nowadays is glitches and bugs. Mind you, these videos are daily, so it's not as if some glitches happen across a week. It's incredibly odd that so many people call out the game for being broken, and not just that, but regardless of the glitches, it's just borderline boring to play, except for a few moments across hours of gameplay, with nothing on the dev sides being done except when everyone complains about it, like with the mercenary work. Now, people will debate when Overwatch started becoming worse. Some say it's when Season 3 ended, some say it's when the events started to get recycled, but in my opinion it was after the first anniversary for the game, hence why the introduction in this video was split in two parts chronologically between June. Before the anniversary, people loved Overwatch. It got those who weren't into shooters to like them. It helped people who couldn't find any relatable characters anywhere else find solace in the game's diverse cast. And it had a competitive nature to it that attracted a lot of attention. Not to mention the developers were extremely open to feedback. However, after the first anniversary, there were more and more issues. Not immediately, but progressively. Heroes got nerfed or buffed for seemingly no reason. The developers became less transparent with information. Events became more boring as resources were reused or altered in minimal ways. Features and tools that should have been in the game at launch were either never implemented or were implemented poorly. And bugs that weren't fixed for months on end, if at all. Another issue with the Overwatch is the matchmaking system, which is pretty terrible in competitive but basically non-existent in casual game modes. and I have an interesting piece of information about that. Bruce from Funhouse, who were in the opening compilation, claimed to have had an interesting conversation with an Overwatch dev that I would like to show you.
The matchmaking in Overwatch is probably some of the most intelligent matchmaking I've ever played in. That said, it's also the most frustrating for me ever of all time. Yep. Because I talked to one of the Overwatch developers when we went and toured Blizzard, and he was like, I was like, yeah, my win-loss ratio is 50-50. He's like, that's exactly what we want. We are aiming for a 50-50 split. We want you to lose 50% of the time. We want you to win 50% of the time. That bothers me because I don't want to be put into a guaranteed loss scenario where it's like, basically that'd be like, all right, well, you play soccer occasionally, football. You play football, soccer occasionally on an amateur team, and they're like, okay, well, now you're going to go play against Brazil.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I can't win. They're like, sorry, you have to play it.
Well, it's, we want you to, you've already won 7 times. We got to even it out.
Right. And that's what I don't like about it is that I have no control over my destiny at all.
Yeah.
And that's what I do like about Battlefield is at least if I join the server in Battlefield or in Team Fortress or whatever else and I lose over and over and over, that's my fault.
Yeah.
I can go and change the server if I want to at some point and be like, well, maybe this other server is not so bad, and who knows, it might be a loss too, but at least I controlled my destiny versus Blizzard, who keeps matchmaking me against I know Destiny. Right? Who keeps matchmaking me against Brazil. So that's my philosophy on it. So.
Now, of course, take all information without solid evidence with a grain of salt. However, I trust these guys, not to mention they don't really stand to gain anything from lying. Also, whenever Overwatch came up, they would basically suck Blizzard's dick, and that's of their own admission. Anyway, I think it's really interesting that Blizzard would construct the matchmaking system to force your win-loss ratio to be 50-50, but I could very easily see them doing this. Now, I want to present you with a hypothetical situation. Let's say you're new to Overwatch, and before you buy it, you do some market research. Now, I'm well aware this is infinitely more than any person would do, but I promise I have a point to this. Where do you see Overwatch outside of playing the game? Social media. Social media sites such as Twitter and Instagram, where typically only short clips are posted, people will most likely only post highlights, and Blizzard anticipated this. Hence why the Overwatch logo is shown when the highlight finishes, because why expend the effort to edit it out for no reason? Also, most people have the mentality of posting their clip or video as quickly as possible so they can get the likes and favorites they want quickly. When it comes to YouTube, most people want their videos to be interesting for the viewer because, they're playing the YouTube game. So a video about good plays and funny moments will be more appealing to the casual viewer than just a video about glitches. Now, Reddit is interesting because it's a collective archive of everything about the game. In fact, if you check the Overwatch Reddit right now, I can probably predict the first 10 posts, not including the pinned posts of course. 8 of them are highlights from people who are desperate for Reddit karma, one of them is a stolen clip from YouTube tagged as humor who didn't credit the creator, and assuming the 10th one isn't just another highlight, it's either a piece of mediocre fan art or a post about esports since the World Cup is going on right now. However, if you change the sort tag to controversial instead of the default hot, oh wow, that's where all the news and discussion tagged posts are. Regardless of what I or you think about the concept the poster is trying to discuss, it's drowned by downvotes because that's what the Overwatch Reddit think. They think the game is perfect and would rather get rid of discussion on what the game needs and instead upvote fan art for hero skins. And from an outsider's perspective, if the Reddit is just highlights, stolen creditless posts and fan art of the game, it must be pretty good, right? And the Overwatch forums are a joke. It's either low tier players complaining that everything is OP, or Mercy mains demanding a revert. Legit, ever since Mercy got reworked, a bunch of Mercy mains have demanded Blizzard revert the changes. I mean, I get when your character gets nerfed and changed in a way that you don't like, but holy shit, let it go, it's been like a year. Also, the stuff they do for their community is super fucking weird. For example, the Diva Cola challenge. You got sprays by watching chosen Twitch streamers for a few hours, and the Twitch streamers chat is just filled with command claim, command watch time, which just ruins the viewer's experience since only the streamer can hide commands from their side, but the viewer can't. Not to mention, depending on the streamer, the chat is already going fast enough, but now there is anywhere from 500 to 5,000 dead viewers that don't care to engage with the streamer and are literally spamming the chat commands. Also, why did no streamers take advantage of the stream chat room feature, which is made for instances just like this? Have one for command spammers and one for viewers that actually care to engage. So basically, Blizzard gave a bunch of streamers living viewports that last for about a week. Nice. Right, hey, so I'm off script now, so this is like improv stuff, so I'm probably going to be stuttering infinitely more, assuming that I didn't in the script. So I've had these thoughts for a long fucking time. So for people that watch me, they know I main Raodhog, who is, ask any professional player, probably deemed as one of the most underpowered characters in the game right now. But I didn't want to talk about it when I'm talking on script, to seem like there was some kind of bias. I get people give EA shit for like, oh, being so monetarily greedy, but at least EA can build a fucking engine and a game that works, at least like fundamentally. Because let's be honest, Blizzard aren't exactly doing anything revolutionary. Sure, they've introduced some new concepts, but nothing like absolutely groundbreaking that they can't do. I know I keep saying this, but it's a AAA game and it just has so many issues that you just don't see in so many other games. I'm not sure why I'm getting serious over a video game. It's just there's issues with this game that just like aren't. This is gonna sound super fucking sus, but I'm pretty sure Blizzard are like aware of what they're doing. They're aware that Twitch streamers have to keep playing the game. Although, it's like there was that clip with Jardio. He said, "I have to keep playing the game. Otherwise, I don't get as much money, and I need to live." And because like I'd rather play, like, I hate Overwatch, but I'd rather play that than actually have a job. Like, I could 100% deal with that if it meant I got enough money to live and do whatever I want, except play Overwatch for a couple hours every day. Well, a couple is like anywhere from like 6 to 12, depending on how far you're going. I've seen the whole, oh, Raodhog's getting changes. I don't know what it is. I'm not expecting anything. I'm genuinely not. Like, they said they were good. Literally, I've had this post, this forum thing. There's this one called "Why Developers Silent on Raodhog Bugs." This was posted on 3rd of May. Jeff Kaplan responded the same day, and he just got like spammed with like all these glitches Raodhog has. That was May 3rd, and now they're doing something they most likely were aware before that and aren't doing anything until now. What? Like, does Overwatch League, is the World Cup really taking up that many resources? Are the developers who specialize in coding the game really having that much of their time consumed? I'm expecting them to do the same thing with who Raodhog took, like him. You know how Pokemon Go, you could like curve the ball? I'm expecting them to like, because you can, so the animation for the, you like curve it, you like, yeet, and it goes out across your screen, so it like changes the depth of perception, so you don't think it actually broke, even though it clearly did, you know?
We ain't gotta keep this on the low. Don't do it fast, we can take it slow. Show you things that you ain't seen before. Before you go, you ought to know I won't be catching feelings, but she got me catching feelings. I can't be catching feelings.